Welcome back to Fifth Road Spirit, friends. I am here with your weekly reading. I actually want to bring back something that I did when I first started the channel. I usually, what I did was I started off the reading with a meditation. So if you're willing and want to join, I'm going to start off with a meditation. And also to everyone who celebrates, happy Candlemas. This is the time of year when you sit down, journal, and write out everything that you want to happen for the year. So, again, um, journaling is very important. So, with that, let's go ahead and do this meditation. So, if you are in a safe space, not driving, maybe you're at work or at school or at home, find somewhere that is safe for you to sit and breathe, warm as well. And I just want you to sit somewhere comfortable and feet on the floor, back is supported, and just have your hands, if you're sitting without a table, or just have your hands in your lap with your hands open, and just let your shoulders fall to the side. Close your eyes. Again, you're in a safe space. You're in your house, you're in your car, you are safe. If you're in the car, make sure the car is parked. That's caveat. Make sure the car is parked and turned off and in a space where you can't get hit. I don't know why, I just want to make sure that I'm very clear. So let's get back to that safe seated position. Feet on the floor, back supported. Just let your shoulders fall. Let those knees take the tension out of those knees. Close your eyes. Just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And do that at your natural pace. Now next I want you to breathe in through your nose and hold for 3 seconds. So let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Exhale out of your mouth. Just let it all come in through your nose and hold, and out through your mouth. And then back to normal breathing at your own pace. Great. Thank you so much for joining me in the meditation. Let's get started into this weekly ritual of ours. I've recently started thinking a lot about how we intentionally do the things that we do. What are we very intentional about instead of what have we made into a system or a process? How I think I'm mostly a systems thinker. I want to press a task and then let it go. But lately, I've been thinking about how things are intentional rituals. I intentionally set up this space to get into the mindset of the spirit, get into the connection of the spirit. So I think that's something that is important, and I hope that's a takeaway from this reading. So let's talk about what's going on with the moon. Right now, we are in the disseminating moon phase. In the Mysteries of the Dark Moon book by Demetra George, the disseminating moon phase is when we first start, when we see the fruit of what we intended when we did our new moon in reading and intentions. This is where we start seeing the fruit, but this is also the beginnings of the stirrings of the dark moon, the lessons that are coming. We've reached the peak of the birthing process, but now we are also seeing the darkness on the horizon of the moon. And the darkness, of course, is approaching wisdom, approaching dark goddess wisdom, approaching knowledge, approaching wisdom. And it's really helpful to stop and just take a breath, breathe, and allow when the moon is in this phase. And of course, that's exactly what the Moonology card is suggesting that we do. We take the time to breathe out. Breathe out. All right. Let's read this disseminating moon information from the Moonology Oracle Cards deck. The intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't all be on all the time. If you feel like you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and remind yourself that life goes in cycles. To attune to this energy, say to yourself, I am where I am, and it's okay. The disseminating moon is the first moon phase after the explosion of energy that comes with the full moon. And of course, we had the full moon in Leo last week. I have been feeling very powerful energy. I don't know about you all. And sometimes when I feel that powerful energy, I have been known to just check out and try and find other things to do. But what I ended up doing, I took some time out on, today is Monday, February 1st. Also, happy February, happy Black History Month. I took some time on Saturday to go hiking with a friend at, just some random place. So I was pretty happy about, doing that. Because I'd been in a slump too. Like, I really love getting outdoors and I hadn't really been out. So, yeah, no matter when you pick this card, it suggests that you're at a more tranquil point in the life cycle of whatever situation you're asking about. This is not the ideal time to start something new. The disseminating moon is the time to breathe out. Give yourself some time off and think about what has passed. All right. So that's where we are with the disseminating moon phase. What I have done here, I've lit my dark candle, I've lit my intuition candle, I've lit my throat chakra candle because it represents Pisces, and I know we've got some Pisces energy happening. And I've also lit my white candle because I want to, the dark and the light are both equally important in our lives, which is why I make it a point to try not to say, that's a good thing or that's a bad thing, because you don't know how it all is going to fall out. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started with the reading. I'm just I'm very happy about this. There's just this celebration that I've been feeling lately about the integration of the light and the dark, about that shared space, that unification of light and dark, because we must appreciate the whole. We must appreciate all of it. And when I talk about this, I talk about the energy. I talk about the self. When we're talking about accepting, our quote unquote dark and our quote unquote light. They are all the same energy. Okay. But we can individually celebrate each uniqueness of the two sides. All right, let's see. I wanted to use, oh, here it is. I wanted to use my Dream Enchantress Tarot. So actually, let's go ahead and set the space. Right. Let's do this. I call on my Divine Masters and Teachers to come into this reading with a message for the collective for the week of February 1st, 2021. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, sorry. I have this upside down. Okay. All right. I've got 3 cards. All major arcana. Very interesting. So, I normally don't read in reverse, but I will take the fact that it came out in the reverse as a part of this reading. So we have the World card, which is the last card in the tarot, the journey of the major arcana, the journey of the Fool throughout the tarot. The next card we have is the Empress. And lastly, we have the Judgment card. Judgment is the 20th card. Actually, just comes just before the World card in the major arcana. Wow. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands. And amazingly enough, underneath that, the Fool card, there's a lot of beginnings here, a lot of endings and beginnings, because when we take into consideration that this World card came out, so the world itself, this card is always about the cycle of life, always about endings and beginnings. Now, the fact that it came out in the reverse, it's pretty interesting, and I want to make sure I'm looking at this properly. So I'm absolutely not ashamed to pull out my helper cards here. And let's talk about what that means for us as people, as energy, as humans. So this is about wholeness and the dissolution of all binaries. And that might put some people, this is Saturn too. So it could be that this, if we think about the World card in reverse, this is a lack of wholeness. This is the firm identification of the binary, and this is inflexibility. And this is definitely what Saturn is the taskmaster of planets. This is the planet that comes in, and you should check to see where Saturn is in your chart, your astrology chart. But Saturn is the taskmaster. Either we make things hard for ourselves by creating clear, definitive spaces for ourselves. This is what this card is telling us, that that's what happens when we do that. And if we were to see the world in an upright position, we would see wholeness. We would see the dissolution of all binaries. The ones and zeros. This could also be related to Mercury retrograde a little bit. Because when you think about the dissolution of binaries, you can say that, ones and zeros do fall away, which which could mean some trouble in the digital spaces or online spaces. Yeah, wow, things like that. But in this sense, binaries definitely means differentiating things. Like if we say male and female, we're basically, that's a binary. But if we understand that the human is expressing themselves in whatever way they want to, and we understand that they are human first, that is the goal, right? So next we have this Empress. And the Empress is all about fertility. This is all about growth. This is all about birth. This is about having something new coming forward. This is about divine, the not divine, but the mother of all mothers, the mother of all the queens. Nothing, and again, if we look at the major arcana, the Empress comes first always in this setup. The Empress always comes first, and so we can understand that the nothing comes to fruition except through the Empress. So we can't even get to the Emperor until we get the Empress first. There can be no Emperor without the Empress. And I think that might be also a message, is the masculine. And when I say masculine and feminine on this channel, I talk about energy. I'm not talking about male and female. I'm talking about the energy. So we talk about where the masculine energy is all about order. The feminine energy is really chaos. And to a masculine energy who's looking at feminine energy and just seeing nothing but chaos, and instead of saying, I understand that this chaos is coming to bring me something, right? So here we see this feminine energy coming to create, because out of chaos comes art, great works of art. Out of the mind comes, great ideas, right? And so then we have the Judgment card. Here we see a winged fairy blowing the horn to across the land, heralding this call to new life, this call to newness, this call to change, great change that we may not understand. This could be progression in where we see ourselves in our lives. This could be, and this is definitely a rebirth. This is a rebirth, a beginning, because look here, this 10 of Wands, right? We see this tree, the roots are dry, the branches bear no fruit. But look behind the tree. Oh, this tree is in lush land. This tree is surrounded by green and opportunity and fertile land. But the tree is done. The tree is finished. The tree can no longer give life to the land around it anymore. And so it's time for the tree to move on to something new. This is about renewal of passion, a renewal of creation energy. Yeah, I mean, when we think about the Big Bang Theory, uh, when we think about fire energy, because this is wands are fire signs. We think about the first time man created fire, the first time fire was even seen on Earth. And it wasn't, that's the other thing too. It wasn't even created by man first. It might have been harnessed by, by the first inhabitants of this world, but the world created it. And it's time to create a new world. It's time to move on. And again, we see this Fool card underneath this Ten of Wands. And the Fool card is all about, again, we're starting this journey over again. We're starting the Fool's journey again. We're starting off with, you know, little on our back, just enough to keep us going, a rod, maybe a little dog, but we're leaving what we know behind. We see this individual masked here, leaving behind what was comfortable, a big house, a celebration. You see the flags in the distance, on fertile land, going toward the unknown. Wow. All right, let's get some guidance for you all while we move forward into this week and in this newness energy. And I really, really recommend that you get a journal. I've got a new Moleskine journal that I'm starting on. I also have several other journals. You know what? I have a lot of journals, guys. I have a lot of journals. But let's go ahead and I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you here. I know this reading is probably going to run a little bit long, but I want to give you the tools to journal and and create for yourself and create a pathway. Um, Understand that how to better get a pathway going between you and your own spirit and your own creation energy and your own beliefs and your connection with the moon. Spirit, can you give us some guidance for this reading for the week of, thank you so much, Spirit, for the week of February 1st? All right, we've got the raccoon card. It's interesting. Let's see what raccoon energy has for us. I'm going to set that there so you all can see it. Raccoon. Where is the, okay, here's the book. Let's see. Raccoon. All right, here we go. Wow. Raccoon. Talented, shadowy, and in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? Guys, I am telling on myself in this reading. I'm so sorry. I hope it's also for you, but wow. Spirit is speaking to me right now. Okay. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. Great. So when this is in balance, find a generous friend or an exceptional artist. When this is in balance, you are a generous friend or an exceptional artist. But when you are out of balance, you're a competitive and a starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. So I hope that is helpful for you. I'm also going to do, I wanted to do a second. Yeah, I want to give you guys everything this week. Now, I will say, because this card is challenging for me, um, so take it or leave that advice for the Animal Spirit deck, because I think that is for me, but if it's for you as well, great. However, with the talking about this raccoon card, I just want to interject a little bit and talk about something new that I'm working on. I am studying to be a shadow retrieval practitioner. Now, if you have been following my channel um, for some time, or if you know me personally, you probably know that I have been doing a lot of work with the dark moon, work with the moon energies, period, but definitely have been exploring my shadow side and learning to integrate it. And it is, I believe, it is part of my purpose pathway. So, with that being said, I am studying to be a shadow retrieval practitioner with a practitioner named Catherine Leggett, who is based out of Seattle, Washington. I believe it's Seattle. Um, Catherine is an amazing teacher. I've taken several of her classes and also had several private sessions with her, but I will be working one on one with her to um, do this work that I know that I'm meant to do. So, in the coming months, I will be looking forward to volunteers to walk with me through, to schedule a shadow retrieval session with me so that I can record it and so that I can send it to Catherine so that she can evaluate my performance. So um, she won't be evaluating you at all. It will just be my how I work with one-on-one with people. So yeah, that's my new work. I think this raccoon card was calling me out. So again, if it's helpful for you, great. But I think that was something for me, and I apologize because this is supposed to be a collective reading, so it may not resonate. But hey, let's go ahead and get you some Oracle of E. Oracle of E. This is kind of an interesting deck. Because it's very, it's a little tongue in cheek, I think, but it's also a little fun. And we want to have fun when we're doing something new, right? So, Spirit, can you give me some guidance for the collective for the week of February 1st, 2021? Can you give me some guidance for the collective? Okay, can you give me some guidance for the collective? No? Oh, okay. Well, no guidance. Let's try another deck. Because again, I like this stuff. um, should I do the Magdalene Oracle? Would you guys like that? Yeah, let's go ahead and do Magdalene Oracle. Let's see what she has. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's put Raccoon back here. Actually, let's just lay it down there. Alright, Magdalene Oracle. Alright, Spirit, can you give us some guidance for the collective for the week of February 1st, 2021? Thank you so much, Spirit. Give us some guidance for the. Ooh, wow. I hope this is really resonating with you. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm like, feel personally called out right now. The real you. The real you is what came up. All right. Great. Um, let's see what this means for all of us. The real you. As humans, we are so attached to our physical world that we often lose sight of our true nature. In attaching your identity and sense of worth to worldly status and achievements, you have lost touch with the real you. Something inside of you yearns to reconnect. Yeah, I do see that a little bit in this Empress card, this reconnection, because it is about that combined endings and a lot of endings and beginnings here, but definitely a call to newness here, a call to realness. Um, Pay attention to your feelings and start to reclaim the many beautiful qualities you possess, the unique qualities you have for so long repressed and ignored. Lighten up and have fun. Laughter is the best medicine for you at this time. Let go of all you think is right and wrong and all you think you should do and just be you. Yeah, again, this disseminating moon is calling for us to take time to breathe out. Just breathe out. As your true nature reemerges, you'll feel inspired and discover a new way of looking at life. In turn, you will achieve greater success and feel a greater sense of fulfillment. Nurture yourself physically, spiritually, and emotionally. There is so much to be grateful for and so much in life to explore. Wow. Beautiful. All right. Um, I'm feeling called to pull one more card if you guys are up to it. I've been using this Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, and I really like it because it is that connection to what we think about spirit and definitely reconnecting to spiritual ritual, reconnecting to the earth, especially, and reconnecting to as a symbolism as a way forward. Um, watching what comes up when we're just walking around, um, and taking note of that, and that's a good way to even start doing spiritual journaling is by just having a little notebook on you, noticing your thoughts, noticing things that happen, or noticing even animals that you see that just catch your eye for absolutely no reason because it has a meaning, right? And that reconnects us. And especially when we talk about this real you card, that reconnects us. So let's see what the Mystical Shaman Oracle, this one kind of popped up and it landed on the top. All right, so we've got the Gatherer in reverse. So let's see what that's all about. 21 card, which if we add it together is 3. So if 3 is important to you, please make note. All right, 21. And again, I do read these reversals because if it's upright, it's an invitation. But if it's in reverse, it has a medicine attached to it. It has a recommendation attached to it. So let's read the essence here, the essence of this card, the meaning of the card. Before we cultivated grains, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild greens, where the ordinary person only sees barren soil. The gatherer is the provider, the forager, and the gardener who collects roots and vegetables for the long winter when game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. The medicine for this card. Do not wander too far afield and search for what Spirit has already provided. Practice paying it forward, being thankful in advance of receiving. If you are in a scarcity mindset, open your heart to look beyond current conditions, and you will find the bounty being offered to you. Practice sharing, not hoarding. Now, again, if we look beyond the idea of that materialness, this is practice sharing your talents, practice sharing your spirit, practice sharing the things that you have gathered about yourself. And again, that ties back to the real you card. Wow. So much newness, so much encouragement of expression to share. And I hope that you have enjoyed this week's reading. If you would like to donate to support this work, I have a link on Ko-fi and the link will be in my description, in the description for this video. But if you are interested in a shadow retrieval practitioner session, the only thing that I was advised is that I cannot do it with friends or family or coworkers. So, and I know that I have friends and family and coworkers that follow this channel. So I'm sorry, I can't do the readings for you. It has to be someone that I don't know. So, um, please, uh, get in touch with me if you're interested. I'll continue relaying this message, for the next few months. So, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.